my name is Isaac Baylor.
I'm Samantha Trong.
My name is Neil Shah.
The Canadian healthcare system is publicly funded through the federal and provincial governments. It provides care to anyone who needs it. However, the system is ripe with inefficiencies which have been made worse by the global pandemic. As can be seen in the graph, wait times at Canadian hospitals have been steadily increasing over the past few decades. This next graph shows that as wait times have increased, so has the number of ER visits. This number spiked in 2020, at which point it decreased due to the global pandemic. This final figure displays the percentage of individuals who visited an ER room who thought they didn't need to be there, divided up based on their country. As can be seen in this graph, Canada had the highest percentage of people at just over 40%, followed closely by the United States and Sweden. However, countries like Australia, New Zealand, and France were significantly lower, hovering around 25%. To solve these issues, we're providing two proposals, one for emergency rooms and one for general diagnoses. For emergency rooms, our proposal is the creation of a web-based application which individuals can enter their symptoms into in order to determine if it is necessary that they visit an emergency room. This will help alleviate unnecessary strain on emergency rooms and facilities and reduce wait times. Our proposal for improving the efficiency of diagnosis is to improve the ability of the system to determine which specialist or other healthcare professional the patient needs to visit. This is done with the aim of reducing, if not completely eliminating, unnecessary tests and visits.
The visual representation of Bayesian network is based on the analytical model developed by Freeman and Shmuley. The limitation to their proposal was that, first, it can depict either a correlation-based model or a causation-based model, but not a model which can satisfy both conditions. Second, the model can either have theoretical backing or can be data proven, but again, it did not allow to develop a model which can account for both of them. Bayesian Lab resolves the deficit by unifying the XY plane. As first, it can develop models which can blend theoretical knowledge with raw data. Second, it can remain valid even after increasing the assumptions in any scenarios. And third, it can deal with uncertainty as it brings in the z-axis of probabilistic space. Bayesian Lab 10 is a desktop application developed using the paradigms of Bayesian networks. It has features which help to apply Bayesian methods to real data sets and turn the analytical results into interactive visualizations. We are trying to apply the principles of Bayesian network in practice, keeping our methods specific to using Bayesian Lab software. First, the data file needs to be imported, which will automatically be done with JDBC drivers. The application will then filter the data into numerical and categorical. Then we would use the R-squared genopt algorithm, leading to discretization of the variables. Discretization is important for two reasons. First, to decide number of intervals for continuous variables and to decide threshold values of those intervals. It is possible the automated discretization would not align with the real information. However, Bayesian Lab allows you to correct this. Upon completion of discretization, all the variables included in the dataset would be defined, and then we would allocate a target node. A target node is a single variable which has the most prominent effect on the end result. Next, it is important to create relations between the variables. In our proposal, the models that we are aiming to create serve the purpose of either identifying a cause or making a knowledge plus data-driven decision. And thus, we need to create an ordered web between variables. To achieve that, we suggest using a supervised learning model with a Markov blanket in combination with an augmented Markov blanket algorithm. Supervised learning modeling needs to be used as in general sense we are inferring insights in accordance with a single variable that is our target node. Markov blanket separates variables which are parental, spousal, or children node. These nodes are technically the variables which are conditionally independent of all other variables. Augmented Markov blanket algorithm is applied to variables inside the Markov blanket. It helps to find any probabilistic relation between those blanket variables to increase predictivity of the model. Once the supervised learning is complete, the models can be assessed using their network performance features. There are three things to look for. First, the total precision. Second, the confusion matrix. And third, the ROC curve. All three of these are used to assess the model with a bird eye view. But if we want to see how each variable affects the result, we would use the entropy and mutual information aspect of Bayesian lab. As the entropy increases of an individual node, the uncertainty with respect to that variable also increases. Mutual information allows us to get entropy for combination of multiple variables. Finally, just using a single click, we can convert this entire networked model into an adaptive questionnaire or a web simulator.
Canadian healthcare undeniably requires changes to operate sustainably into the future. As it stands right now, rising inefficiencies in care delivery and increased costs per patient decrease healthcare accessibility and lower the number of patients treated each year. To combat this, we propose a Bayesian pipeline which combines all existing Bayesian analysis tools into one complete system from start to finish, with the aim of drastically decreasing inefficiencies in the healthcare system. The Bayesian trauma response, on the other hand, aims to decrease the number of unnecessary ER visits and increase accessibility for those who need it. It should be noted that we were severely limited in our analysis, as the data required to build a prototype system is almost entirely confidential. In order to effectively use and implement tools like this in the future, changes need to be made in how data access is currently regulated within the healthcare system. Despite this, all research conducted by our team indicates that taken together, the two proposals could have an enormous impact in decreasing unnecessary spending and therefore increasing patient care and Canadian healthcare sustainability. To conclude, Bayesian networks are ideally suited for the healthcare industry. They combine historical data with current data, which makes them perfect for situations where diagnoses need to change on a continuous basis. We propose a Bayesian pipeline and a Bayesian trauma response system, which taken together will address different endemic problems in Canada's health system. Despite difficulties in adoption and necessary ethical considerations, our team believes that utilizing Bayesian networks in the manner outlined above will allow Canada's health system to continue having an impact for years to come, sustainably into the future. It should be noted that we also ran the report past practicing physicians, and as a rule, they agreed with the general premises within the report. To briefly mention areas of new research, specific adaptation research into implementing Bayesian networks, and research regarding how individual patients respond to treatments suggested by Bayesian networks will prove to be valuable assets moving into the future.
Thank you for taking the time to watch our video.